people will leave to join us and then go back? We doubt it.
Well, I mean, they scored late in the second quarter, so there's hope. So.
Oh, okay. Well, everybody could have come here real quick. We could pray real fast and go back and be on the next adventure. The rabbi, who's the rabbi and the cantor in, where is she? Alexandria, was commenting about how her people were like, you scheduled slichot for a very important football game. She was like, the calendar's been there on the Jewish people for over 2,000 years.
And the truth is, every football game is a really important football game here.
Yeah. So next year we're going to do this at 11 p.m. in the parking lot. So go to somebody's tailgate and it'll be
I think that's the way
slichot, like Havdalah slichot after the game somewhere in a parking lot where someone has a tailgating spot in the congregation. That's what we'll do next year. Yeah. Well, we shall see. I have my phone here for scores. Apparently people in Mandeville care about the football game also, because Josh just texted me. Combined forces, meet somewhere in the middle. This afternoon, we were going back to our rental from this area, and police officers on motorcycles kept driving between us, stopping and waving us through red lights. And we were so confused. And then I pulled off, because I was like, did I just miss an accident? What happened? Then I pulled off to get gas and realized that right behind us were the big black buses. So I'm guessing it was the other team, and they were escorting them down Bluebonnet to Nicholson, which is the same way we go. We were so confused. I was like, why? Why are you waving me through a red light? And then I didn't notice until I pulled into the gas station that a few cars behind us, I'm guessing the unmarked, really big, fancy black buses was the other team.
When the marching band goes to a visiting place, the state police give them an escort the whole way. And they do exactly the same thing.
The same thing, yeah. It's the same way from where I'm from with Ohio State. But I think some people go to Ohio State football games to watch football, and I think some people go to Ohio State football games to see who's from the marching band's gonna dot the script I. So I think it depends on which field you're in.
There was some discussion on one of the sports shows about how important the marching bands are to the football games. And they went into some length talking about dotting the I.
So very, very important job if you get to be the one to dot the I on Script Ohio. I've seen it live. It was pretty cool.
I just saw the second car pass.
Okay.
There's hope.
I know it takes a lot to be a football player, but I can only imagine how much it takes also to be able to play your instrument while also walking in a very specific pattern with everybody around you. I know people who've been in the Ohio State marching band. So, and
I was in the junior high band. That's fun.
But yeah, Script Ohio, watching them, whoever gets to dot the I, especially the one that if they're doing double, that's the home, facing the home. But I think it was always a French horn or a tuba or one of those, because they always danced out with their instrument. But yeah, I grew up in Footballville, so feels the same here. Although it might be even more. I was actually talking to my parents earlier today. I was like, Mom, I think football's even bigger here. As they're we'll also not drive anywhere. But I can't decide if it's because Columbus is a bigger city in general, or if it's just a South in football thing. Hello, hello.
You have two LSU professors.
Yeah.
When I came here, I had been at UCLA, and football's a big thing there.
Yeah.
As is basketball, it's a big sports school. And I had lots of friends in the band. They don't let pianists play in the band for the obvious reasons.
Just have to put it on wheels and have someone push it as you go.
Yeah,
Just doesn't work.
it doesn't work. Anyway, but coming here, there's just no different. There's just no comparison between the way people engage in athletics here and other parts of the country. It's just a completely different thing. Is that fair?
I used to work for about 5 years. I used to work upstairs for all of it.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
My brother went to undergrad and graduate actually at Duke. And basketball for them, he talked about
There's a chauffeur sitting up there with my name on it. Yeah.
talked like he would even as a student you'd think they'd get tickets. He would camp out with his friends to get basketball tickets. And then when he still lives in North Carolina, he never came back, but now he works basketball games to be able to go to not football, not so much at Duke, but now they just moved to Chapel Hill, but would work concessions just to be able to go to basketball games. I think since my first job as a rabbi was at the Hillel at Ohio State University. So aside from growing up there, I think I have some students from my past that if I ever was a Michigan fan would disown me. I also think my father would too. Disown me if I ever. I'll be honest, I grew up there. I did not go to school there. As the campus rabbi, football games were interesting, especially the Ohio State Michigan football game, because they would all jump in the fountain the few days before the ritual that I don't know. Someone can tell me later what the LSU ritual is. I asked what the rivalry was here, and everybody was like everybody.
It is everybody.
So before the Michigan game, there was this big thing that the students would go jump in the fountain at Ohio State and do things that college students do. And so when I was the rabbi for the campus, we actually hosted a midnight breakfast for a safe space for our students to come after doing what students do. It was so weird, being the rabbi who was around all of these drunk college students who had just jumped in a fountain. But I was like, I'm glad I'm offering you pancakes in a safe space. But, yeah.
Like reverse order.
We're expecting pancakes.
What?
We're expecting pancakes.
And now you're expecting pancakes. You have to go act like a college student and then jump in a fountain first, I think. Although we did just discuss that next year, if it is a home evening game, that Slichot's going to be at 11 p.m. at somebody's tailgating site in the parking lot next year.
You understand now.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It was even in Kansas though with the Chiefs, depended on when the game was at the stadium, depended on how many students we had in Sunday school that morning. So it was the same concept. They play on Sundays though, so. Or I don't know if any of the holidays have been Sundays since, I don't remember, since I was in Kansas. Well, it's not quite 7. We could. And the only time I've ever done slichot in the wee hours, I was when living in Israel. HUCs put together an opportunity for all of us to go to slichot at an Orthodox synagogue at 3 in the it was 3 in the morning or whatever, and then we all came together. It was an experience. I was up in a balcony, but it was an experience.
Right, yeah, something,
Yeah.
I'm sure to see what that's like.
I think most synagogues in America it gets earlier and earlier and earlier. Even though Orthodox synagogues don't do it in the middle of the night. Um, this, I don't know why the time versus the, we could ask Jamie, because the ritual committee decided on the times.
I think, well, I can tell you at, Benet, the last several years, they've just incorporated like Greek study into the Saturday morning minion. They didn't have a Saturday.
And then didn't do anything in the evening. Yeah, I'm not the time. Does anybody know what the Legacy Beshalom time frame was for Slichot? Was it later than this? I just took the time I was told.
Wasn't something that was.
Yeah, Legacy B'nai, that was like part of the more, like extra, talked about, yeah. And then I don't know, I just kind of, I think most of the times of things we're doing things this year, since I knew no one, when the decisions were getting made, the ritual committee decided for times. I think they had a lot to do with what had been done in the past. I think Ne'ilah, like we split the time in the middle because that was like, had some changes.
So what about the Torah mantles? I mean, aren't there a lot of Torahs?
Tonight hopefully everybody will be comfortable coming up and helping. Tonight we're changing the 4 in the ark. We're not changing all of them.
Jamie said there were 15.
So we have a lot of Torahs. They will all be changed. Tonight we are changing the 4 in the ark. We will for Kol Nidre, all of the Torahs will be out. There'll be tables, we're still kind of figuring this out, but tables set on either side of the ark with white tablecloths, the Torahs on top, and then covered with talitot, because we have a large number of past presidents who will be holding Torahs across there. So we're pulling out as many as we need. We have a lot now.
Well, I don't know who's in charge of the changing the rest of them out, but I'll volunteer to help.
Thank you.
I don't know what it is.
Thank you. We are, tonight we're doing 4. That's why they're set up this way, because I have them coordinating to where they are in the ark, because they go on specific
Yeah.
Torahs. Hopefully I did it right. I used the book over there.
It did that.
Not in the ark now, no. We're, the ones that we have currently in the ark is the Beshalom one that I think is called blue, and the Beshalom one that's called orange. And then the B'nai ones have not been given names to me, but there are also 2 Torahs from Legacy B'nai that have, one Torah covers kind of blue and the other one's colorful, but yeah. So none of them are the Holocaust scroll. Okay, 7:03. Shall we start?
Sure.
So we can, for those of you who would like to maybe get back to your televisions. So as you walked in, there were, gold paperback special books for this evening. I don't know. Do we think anybody else is going to join us? We don't. It is my understanding that there is not an officer out there. I will share that with
Well,
everyone.
I'll see them. They come.
Okay.
This is a security tonight, right?
There is none. Yeah.
You lock it when you see if somebody comes.
Don't worry, we're not doing this entire book. This book is full of a whole bunch of stuff. We are only doing the Slichot section of the book. There's also an Erev Shabbat service and Shabbat services in here, and lots of different things together. But I actually want to... I'm so busy chatting. I want to begin this evening by sharing a poem written by Alden Sullivan, which is titled Forgiveness Inside. This I confess to myself. I have locked forgiveness away, hiding its wonder and grace in a secret spot deep in my heart. I have set myself up as judge and accuser, as provocateur and jury, regarding my own words and deeds, my wisdom and my truth. With loathing and with disdain, I have known forgiveness from God, but not from myself. God of redemption, with your loving and guiding hand, seeking forgiveness is easy. Accepting forgiveness is a struggle. In your wisdom, you have given me this choice, to live a life of condemnation, or to set my heart free to love you, to love your people, and to love myself. God of mercy, help me to leave my judgments behind, to hear your voice, to accept your guidance, and to see the miracles in each new day. Blessed are you, God of righteousness. In your wisdom, you have taught us that forgiveness is the road to peace. We're going to open up our books now to page 100, where we find our prayers of Havdalah. Come down there to all of you. Tishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bemheira Vayamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. We turn to page 106. We read together, "At midnight I rise to give thanks and praise. And so we come to this hour of Slichot, under the canopy of night, to celebrate goodness, to proclaim what is right and true, to praise, to thank, to bless the great giver who gives and renews our lives. We turn to loved ones, to friends, and to our people everywhere, the whole house of Israel, and our hearts turn toward the human family. We pray for its healing. Yet hardest of all is the inward gaze, the return to ourself, the honest reckoning of the soul, cheshbon hanefesh. We ask how to account for selfish acts, lies, and senseless anger, how to account for the shadows, the storms, the bitterness in our lives, the damage and distress we cause, how to own up to it all and find our way back with integrity in peace. We ask, have we the will to change? And if not now, when? Page 112. Depth of goodness, fount of forgiveness, all of us need your compassion. When I'm praying, when I'm desperate, listen to me, answer me. When I call you in my trouble, enfold me in your love. Together on page 113, we are taught days are scrolls. Write on them only what you want remembered. But we remember our weakness, and our days bear the mark of all that went wrong. On this night, we have hope in the one who sustains us. Though we stumble and falter, you promise forgiveness. If we stray from the truth, you do not forsake us. If we sink to the depths, your mercy uplifts us. If our urges betray us, your compassion is endless. If we distance ourselves, you do not disdain us. If we abandon your teachings, still you embrace us. If we seek you sincerely, your presence surrounds us. If we pray from the heart, you listen with yours. Though we stumble and falter, we are blessed by your promise. We turn the page together. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive the darkness in our hearts, our loss of hope. Pardon our distraction, our ears closed to the pleas of the poor, and lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive us our circles of secrecy, knots of guilt, shame, and anger, webs of betrayal and greed. Pardon the pursuit of happiness that ends in worship of self, and lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, refuse to forgive our refusal to forgive. Release our grudges, hatreds, and feuds. Puncture our stubborn self-righteousness, and lead us to atonement. Master of wonders, mother of souls, forgive our vanity in a universe of awe, our complacency in a universe of need. Pardon our failure to thank, praise, and salute every soul and every star, and lead us to atonement. Master of wonder, mother of souls, forgive us our disregard and insolence, our distance from loved ones and friends. Pardon our daily inattentiveness, our failure to notice that we fail to notice, and lead us to atonement. Page 117. Ki anu amecha ve'ata Eloheinu, anu vanecha ve'ata avinu, anu avdecha ve'ata Adonenu, anu kahalecha ve'ata chelkeinu, anu nachalatecha ve'ata goralenu, anu tzonecha ve'ata roenu, anu charmecha ve'ata notrenu, anu fe'ulatecha ve'ata yotzrenu, anu rayatecha ve'ata dodenu, anu segulatecha ve'ata kerovenu, anu amecha ve'ata malkeinu, anu ma'armirecha ve'ata mamrinu. Our God and God of our ancestors, together, we are your people and you are our God. We are your children and you are our father, our mother. We are the people who serve you and you call us to serve. We are your community and you are our portion. We are your legacy and you are our purpose. We are your flock and you are our shepherd. We are your vineyard and you watch over us. We are your work, and you are our maker. We are your beloved, and you are our lover. We are your treasure, and you are the one we cherish. We are your people, and you reign over us. We offer you our words, and you offer us yours. So forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. We turn together to page 120, and I invite you to please rise. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Alpayim, V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Notzer Chesed no se avon va'fesha v'chata v'nakeh. Together, Adonai, Adonai, God compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving and true, showing mercy to the 1,000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, granting pardon. I'm going to invite you now, if you're comfortable, to come forward as together we change the covers of our Torahs and we listen to some, hopefully. Just the beginning.
Achad sha'alti beit Adonai, Achad sha'alti otavakesh, Achad sha'alti beit Adonai,
Rosen's, something like that.
And then you're gonna silver back
I want to say Parsons Flying.
So, yeah.
there's a yacht
One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life.
If we take the, do you want me to, do we
I ask you,
I think I'll have to take that. That's fine, yeah. It's a team effort, right?
Yes.
When we change these Torah covers, it's right about purity. It's not about individual purity, right? It's about communal.
Well, we were talking too about, like, it's really such an embodied kind of practice for you, physically changing the garments.
We need to tell them.
We could pull it down too, that's much easier. I just can't lift them. It's the same song. It's called a bunch of things.
Achat sha'alti meit Adonai. Achat sha'alti otavakei. Achat sha'alti meit
First been getting into the sacramental wine. No, the Torahs themselves.
Actually going to stay standing as the ark is still open for one more moment. We're going to return in our books. We're on page 122. 122. Thank you. Now this is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after these days, declares the Eternal. I will place my Torah deep inside them, and I will write it on their heart. And I will be to them God, and they will be to me a people. No longer will friend teach friend and kin say to kin, know the eternal. All of them, small and great, will know me, declares the eternal. For I will forgive their acts of injustice, and their wrongful deeds I will no longer remember. Page 123, about the middle of the page. Eitz chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tomchecha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom hashivenu Adonai elecha benashuva Kadesh Kadesh Yameinu Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem. You may be seated. Page 124. Soul of eternity, my strength, my song, where will I find you? Your place is a mystery, far away. But where will I not find you? Your glory fills the world. I sought your nearness, I called you with all my heart, and when I went out to find you, I found you coming toward me. Breathless, I witnessed your power, and in holiness I gazed. Page 126. Let us read together. God of forgiveness, you examine the heart, reveal its depth, speak what is right. Majestic in wonders, ancient source of comfort, you recall our ancestors' covenant, seek out our innermost being. Soul of goodness, you bestow goodness and know all mysteries. Arrayed in righteousness, you overcome sin. As the days of awe near, we reach for the infinite. Mindful of our frailty, we seek the holy. Despite our mortality, we carry within us the Ancient of Days. Despite loneliness within, we sense that we belong to a single soul, a spirit that fills the entire universe. Let us find in that universal spirit a new source of strength and significance, more compassion, more generosity, more gratitude for life. Let our hearts be open to self-reckoning, and may we grasp how vital to our lives is teshuvah, the path of return. On this night of forgiveness, we confess our wrongs and take account of sins, failures of judgment, weakness of will. The hour is late, our need to be forgiven profound. I invite you to please rise. Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, tavo lefanecha tefilatenu, va'al tit'alam mitchinatenu, anachnu azeh fanim ukshe oref, lomar lefanecha, Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, sadikim anachnu ve'lo chatanu, aval anachnu chatanu. Together, our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence, and when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. Together we confess. Together we take responsibility. The next page. Ay, 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 Ashamnu, Bagadnu, Gazalnu, Dibarnu, Do. fi. Ay, 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 ay. He'evinu vehirshanu zadnu chamasnu tafalnu sheker. Ay, 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 ay. Ya'atznu ra kizavnu latznu maradnu niatznu. Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay. Sararnu, Avinu, Pashanu, Sararnu, Kishinu, Oref. Ay, 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 ay. Rashanu, Shichatnu, Tiavnu, Tainu, Tiatanu. Ay, 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 ay. Together in English we continue. We abused and abandoned. We acted without thinking. We blamed others when we failed. We boasted and belittled. We coveted and corrupted. We coerced the weak to do our will. We drove away those we love with silence. We deceived and denied. We enticed and enslaved. We exalted money and material goods. We fouled air, sea, and land. We flattered and falsified. We gravitated to those who gossip. We gave up our ideals and gave in to our impulses. We hated and humiliated. We held grudges and refused to forgive. We ignored and idolized. We insisted that we were right. We judged others rashly and wrongly. We were jealous and unjust. We killed. We were knowingly unkind. We kept to ourselves in the face of need. We lacked commitment to causes we espoused. We were lazy and we lied. We missed the mark and minimized our mistakes. We mocked what we did not understand. We neglected those who depend on us. We were negative and narcissistic. We overreached and overreacted, too often erupting in outbursts of anger. We poisoned and polluted. We perverted truth for personal gain. We quelled the voice of conscience within us. We quit too soon and quarreled too often. We ridiculed and resented. We refused to accept help. We rationalized our failings and our flaws. We spurned the wisdom of our tradition. We squabbled and scorned. We talked too much or not enough. We traumatized our children with anger. We issued ultimatums and made ugly threats. We uttered untruths and undermined with cynicism. We were vain and vicious. We vilified foreigners and strangers. We wasted time, strength, and talent. We wallowed in self-pity, wished but did not act. We exploited and expropriated. We expected others to save the world. We yearned too much for prizes and praise and failed to share fully in the joy of Zion reborn. The next page. We'll read responsively. I'll read Hebrew. If you'd like to read with me, you are invited, and then together we will read in English. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha ba'ones uvratzon. The ways we have wronged you. Ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha bazadon uvishgaga. The harm we have caused. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha begalui uvasater. The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly. Ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'yod'in uv'lo yod'in.
The harm we have caused in your world consciously and unconsciously.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'sinat chinam.
The ways we have wronged you by hating without cause.
Ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha birchilut.
The harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor.
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha b'tsarut ayin.
The ways we have wronged you through selfish and spirit.
Ve'al chet shechatanu lefanecha be'imut chalev.
The harm we have caused in your world by hardening our hearts.
Va'al kulam elohas lichot slach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu. For all
These failures of judgment and will, God forgive us, pardon us, lead us to the tongue.
Ve'al kulam elohas lichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu. Al chet shechatanu lefanecha. Together we stray and we sin, when we fail to make peace the highest good, and when we are silent in the face of evil, when we forsake those who suffer far away, and when we shun the wronged and destitute among us, when we diminish God's image through violence or indifference, and when we fail to take care of those who depend on us, when we engage in slander or deceit, and when we distort the truth for personal gain, when we judge others rashly or unfairly, and when we stoke the fires of communal strife, when we fail to embrace Torah, the tree of life, to walk its paths and make its ways our own, we stray and we sin. When we offer no blessings, no words of thanks for the breath within us and for the wonder of being. Ve'al kulam elohas lichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu. Ve'al kulam elohas lichot selach lanu mechal lanu kaper lanu. I invite you now to take a moment of silent reflection, to think of your past year and of your wishes for the year ahead, and you may be seated whenever you wish. Page 135. We read responsively. I invite you to read the paragraphs that are indented. Hear our call, Adonai our God. Show us compassion. Accept our prayer with love and goodwill. Take us back, Adonai. Let us come back to you. Renew our days as in the past.
Hear our words, Adonai. Understand our unspoken thoughts. Make the speech of our mouth and our hearts quiet prayer acceptable to you, Adonai, our rock from you.
Do not cast us away from your presence or cut us off from your Holy Spirit.
Do not cast us away when we are old, as our strength diminishes. Do not forsake us. Do not forsake us, Adonai. Be not far from us, O God. With hope, Adonai, we await you. Surely you, Adonai,
page 136. Return now, Israel, to the one who forgives, for you have fallen because of your sin. Together. Return as the shrill sound of the shofar that rises from the spiral of the ram's horn towards heaven. Take words with you and return to the eternal. I will return as the leaves in spring, renewed and beautiful.
Stretch out your arms to God and return, like a child to her mother, to love and peace.
Page 139. Hear, O Israel, hear now the heartbeat of Israel, in the quiet space between a year that is ending and a year that begins. Hear the call of hope and joy, and hear the call of repentance and renewal. Hear the call to create and embrace. Hear the call to restore and to heal. Hear the call to atone and perfect, to search the soul and account for every deed. Hear the call to wrestle with sins and flaws, to fight injustice and serve the suffering. Hear the call to gather in the scattered sparks of divinity, and hear the call to seek the core of our humanity. Hear the call of compassion and forgiveness. Hear the call to return to Torah, to our people, to the one who teaches love and patience, mercy and truth. Hear the commanding sound of teshuvah. Hear the urgent call of tikkun. I invite you to please rise. Page 141. Avinu Malkeinu Shema Kolenu. Avinu Malkeinu, Almighty and merciful, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu Chamol Aleinu Va'al Ulalenu V'Tapenu. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and on our families. Avinu Malkeinu Kalei Deber V'Cherev V'Ra'av Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger. Avinu Malkeinu Kalei Kol Tsar U'Mastin Me'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror. Avinu Malkeinu Kotvenu B'Sefer Chayim Tovim. Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu Chadesh Aleinu Shana Tova. Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a good year. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Va'anenu, Ki Ein Banu Masim, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh Imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, V'hoshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Va'anenu, Ki Ein Banu Masim. Do it together. Tekiah. Tekiah. You both ready? This is a big one. Tekiah Gedolah. Nice. Nice job, everyone. Shana Tova in a few short days.
Yeah.
extra alchaitzin, so you know you'll sneak in those gates real quickly. Thank you.
It does, yeah.
What'd you say? Feels
It does feel like a head start.
Yeah. For me, it feels like, oh no, I haven't edited my sermon. And oh no, I drip wax all over the floor. I was noticing that as I was walking around.
Beautiful shofars.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to me
He's an
that
expert over
they
there.
sound different, right? Like,
Yeah, they're just, but they're actually very close in tune, so they work really well together.
Yes.
We're gonna have to, those of us here have to start off our high holiday season with 2. We'll continue with 2 here and there, 1 here and there, and then we'll end with hopefully a few.
Yeah. Hopefully as many as we can on, for Tasha.
And Tasha, if you are one who owns a shofar and sounds shofar, bring it to Tasha. Even if it's plastic, I got a plastic one too. It doesn't sound quite as nice. I've been sounding it for our Rainer Center kids on Friday mornings at Tasha. The first time, thank goodness that I was here, because I could not get a sound out of my shofar at all. I will say I've done much better every other Friday, at least except for they were all like, that's not as loud as we were expecting. And I'm like, I'm not that good at it.
Weird that I came.
You just happened to be here, and I was getting no sound out of my shofar that morning, but, you know.
Okay.
When did you start?
Doing this?
Yeah. Was that new?
It's a long story, but I had an autoimmune disease, and I was very affected, and so I tried to go to shofar, and I did.
Therapy.
And from then on, I just thought, okay, my legs are strong enough. I won't try to continue. But I can't really do it. I can go.
You're doing very well. You did great.
So you play piano? You don't play a horn instrument? So what made you interested in?
My roommate in college was, at an undergrad, I was at UCSB, and he was a Russian history and Hebrew language major, and he played the trumpet. And then after I then transferred up to UCLA, he graduated and decided to go to rabbinical school at UJ.
Okay.
And so we lived together for a while there, and he blew shofar all the time, and he taught me how to blow shofar. And I said, okay, I can use that. And then we got this as a wedding present many years ago. And when the person who was blowing shofar for Renee decided that he was not going to do it anymore, he asked me if I knew anyone. And I said, well, actually I do.
Was that on the wedding registry?
It wasn't, no. It was not, no.
We have many, I will say that it is a Susan Lipsy, and it's a picture of